Hey guys, DJ Benji here for match number 5 of the competitive Modern League. We're on the draw here. We don't have a very fast hand. I'm going to mulligan. Here, again, we don't have a fast hand. We're basically doing nothing until turn 6. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this as well. And I'm not going below this, but this hand's pretty junky as well. Our opponent mulligan to 6. Right? They've got 6 cards in hand. Yeah. And looks like we're against some Death Shadow variant. Grixis Death Shadow. So, pretty unfortunate league for us. We made some board changes to go board away from Grixis Shadow and more towards Tron, which we didn't see at all. Considering we're probably unlikely to win this game, we could even concede scoop right here, but I'm going to fight it out. We really have nothing going on though, and our chances of winning this game are probably around 10%. Knowing what we're against, some of our first hands would have been a lot better. The ones with that are land heavy, no matter how much discard our opponent plays, they can't take away lands. So those would have been a lot better. But again, we didn't know what we're up against, so we're gonna just pass. Our opponent's got a pretty fast start. Turn 2 Death Shadow, potentially. Oh, nope. Not yet. Yeah, taking the Primeval Titan's pretty strong. And then now they have a 4/4 Death Shadow. So we're on a pretty quick clock here. The best I can do is try to delay by gaining life. But we really need a lot of pieces here. We need lands, we need Titan, we need acceleration. Main deck Liliana. See, now I'm glad we stuck around. Seeing that they play that is interesting. It's more like a blue Jund list than anything else, and they probably have lots of really good stuff in hand, so hence the not taking it up. And we actually haven't even seen the third color yet. We don't know if they're running red. They could be running white instead. So now we're on a 2-turn clock. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll dump the Ghost Quarter here. We're still hoping to find out what our opponent is on in terms of color-wise. And we now at least have a blocker. So at this point, it looks like we'll be able to get a Titan next turn if we draw one. Also, we can Pact of Negation comfortably. But taking a turn off would be too bad for us. Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Probably gonna Thoughtseize here. Nope, Serum Visions. Okay. And if I land a Titan next turn, I have Pact of Negation to protect it, and also I can get a only garden to protect against Liliana. And it looks like I whiffed. And I'm dead, so gaining 2 life doesn't help because of Snapcaster Mage, and we're out of it. I mean, I can see if I can find an Engineered Explosives or something, and then I can see if I can blow it up on 1. And look at that, we're still in it. Here, discarding the island. I have 6 lands, which is all you really need. A relic is a good redraw. And if our opponent does have discard, I'm wondering if I want to crack this now or not. I'm going to go ahead and crack it. Ancient Stirrings. We could look for like a Teleria West or Gemstone Mine. Actually, I'll get the Gruul Turf so that I can play the Radiant Fountain again next turn. So at least we saw the Terminate. That means our opponent's in red. And here we can see the red land too. Took them a while to get it, but they got it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Walking Ballista, pretty strong here. I'm going to tick down for 1 on the Snapcaster Mage. If Liliana ticks down to 2, she'll get 2 loyalty, and I'll be able to remove her with Walking Ballista. If our opponent ticks up, that's pretty good for us. Veil Push looks like it was one of the last cards in their hand. A land, huh? And our opponent can already get down pretty low, so might as well just go even lower. Vesuva. I'll play Vesuva here, getting more blue sources and bouncing back our Radiant Fountain. We're still missing a white source, so we can't even get a hasty Titan in 1 turn. Opponent fetches, interestingly, okay. And plays a land tapped, so they're flooding, as are we. Amulet of Vigor. You see, this is like in post-board games, why you take out Amulet of Vigor, because it does like nothing here. Well, I mean, it does give me a hasty Titan, but I would have preferred a Titan than an Amulet there, or even a big threat. Saheeli gonna help me find action. Do not want that land. I wonder what my opponent drew. Maybe another fetch land. I was thinking potentially Snapcaster, but he would have flashed it in end of turn. think they might be out of lands. Nope, now they're out of lands. Okay. And our opponent discarded Thoughtseize. They're empty-handed. Wow, we came back and won this game. Pretty impressive, I think. Show from the deck. So we're going to get the Summoner's Pact, play the Summoner's Pact, get a Primeval Titan, cast Primeval Titan, and 2 more. Get a Boros Garrison and a Slayer Stronghold. And we could even minus to get a Hasty Titan there. Okay, so that went well. We're going to do something similar to before. In the earlier matches, as you saw, bringing in these 8 cards. Tireless Tracker, Bog, Dismembers, Thragtusk, Hornet Queen, and taking out our Sakura Tribe Scouts and Amulet of Vigor. And let's run it back like that. So other versions of the deck that were designed to combat Grixis Shadow, they'll run 3 copies main of Grove of the Burn Willows, which keeps Death Shadow small. They'll also run Explore or Bojuka Bog main. Those are things which can help you find your answers faster, like just being able to cantrip with Explore and potentially get, to your Dismember or your Hornet Queen, as opposed to Elder, which is great at blocking for a turn, buying you time, but doesn't find you the answer specifically unless you draw it your next turn. So to me, like I like that a little better. Okay, this hand, I'll keep it because again we're against a discard deck. We do have a Bojuka Bog, a Relic of Progenitus. We have a lot of different things which are helpful in the matchup. And our opponent here probably won't know what to take with this Thoughtseize. They don't really have a great take. I mean, Bojuka Bog can get rid of, it can do the same thing as Relic, so maybe you get rid of those and maybe you take Azusa, but still, I'm pretty far away from Azusa, so it's not that good. He might just want to go straight for the top end and take away Thragtusk. And he takes away Azusa, so I think I'll play Bojuka Bog first. Like I said before, it's kind of redundant with Relic of Progenitus. So next turn I'll be able to play Gemstone Mine and Sakura Tribe Elder, and I think that's the best use of my mana. Then there's the question of, do I want to accelerate this turn? I don't think so. I'm not going to attack. I'm not going to sacrifice it unless he targets it with some sort of removal. Our opponent's bottoming a lot of stuff. Looks like he's looking for ways to lose life, right? He's at 13. He played an untapped land, so it's good to just be aware of that. 2, 3, 4, 5. So next turn, I can even play out my Pact of Negation here. Sacrifice each of these, one for my Lone Island, one for my Forest, Death Shadow, and I'm gonna actually crack one of these so that next turn I can play my Thragtusk. Dismember. So I have an option here of playing Dismember and Relic, or playing Thragtusk. Our opponent has 5 cards in hand. He's leaving up a red and a black, which means he could have something like a Terminate. So if he has a Terminate, well, let's just get him to play it out. So I have the Pact here, plus I have 2, 3, 4, 5. I can also sacrifice the Sakura Tribe Elder to get an island. That'll leave me with a play next turn. I'm going to use it. Pretty close decision there, though. I'm going to want to deal with my opponent's graveyard soon, so hopefully, you know, if he attacks, or regardless if he attacks, I'm going to be dropping my Elder, getting an island. I'll be able to play out my Relic there. In the following turn, crack it, or... And the reason why I'm concerned about my opponent's graveyard is because Disdainful Stroke, you know, he could easily have a Snapcaster and Snapcaster it back. If I get something like a Titan. So that's a pretty strong draw. Our opponent doesn't have blue mana up, so I'm going to Dismember here. And then Boros Garrison, bouncing Gemstone Mine. Let's counter it out. So next turn I'm going to want to be able to Summoner's Pact plus get a Hasty Titan, so that means I need 8 mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I won't be able to do it. I would need 8 mana down now. So I'm just going to bounce the Bajuka Bog and get in for 5. Okay, like we thought, our opponent did have the Terminate. So again, I'm glad I have this Bajuka Bog next turn. I can Bajuka Bog away their graveyard, get rid of their Disdainful Strokes, their Terminate, and then Summoner's Pact up a Titan. We're not gonna use our Gemstone Mine. Let's keep that open. Hopefully our opponent doesn't play a big Delve Threat here. Liliana the Veil, okay. Sacrifice creature, okay. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Play a Titan. Or do I want to play a Hornet Queen for 7? If I play a Hornet Queen, we can't lose to like individual removal. And it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, which is pretty strong. I think it's better to just chain the Titans though. I'm in a pretty strong spot. So 2, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna want a Teleria West. Well, I can't get a Teleria West, so I'm gonna get a Colony Garden and a Bounce Land. I'll bounce my Gemstone Mine, play Bajuka Bog, target my opponent, and here our opponent's pretty strapped. Unfortunately, I don't have any action to follow this up. I wasn't able to get a Teleria West, but they also can't -2 with their Liliana. So they would need just removal. And they have the removal, okay. Dismember. Primeval Titan. Okay. Getting a little closer. Maybe last turn I should have got a Colony Garden and a Slayer Stronghold. This turn I would have been able to kill the Liliana. But we have plenty of good draws here. We have Teleria West to get ourselves a Pact, and then we also have the ability to get ourselves a Titan. Let's see. So that'd be 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would easily be able to, well, not a Titan, but our opponent must have another Liliana here. So Summoner's Pact is what we're looking for into Hornet Queen, or something like that. Okay, what can I cast this for here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I can cast it for 6. I think that's pretty good. Our opponent could have a Disdainful Stroke, in which case, you know, that's pretty bad for us, but nothing we can do about it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll just get rid of the Liliana right now. Our opponent can't really attack. We could have put our opponent to 1, but I don't really like that play. But at least we dealt with all their Lilianas. Now we don't have to worry about them, you know, getting rid of our board in terms of making us sacrifice all these lands. And our Colony Gardens are live to bounce lands. And our Relics are live. Is he going to stub this? He could have stubborn denial. Why not? Nope, okay. Opponent gets back a Thought Scour. Thought Scours. And Hornet Queen. Now we just have to hope they don't have Disdainful Stroke. Okay. Do they? And they freaking do. Ugh, I think that there goes our chances. We have 2 Tireless Trackers left, and that's it. In terms of threats, right? We lost our Prime Times, we lost our Thragtusk. I think we're done. He's going to activate Tasker here. If they get any discard, obviously we give him that. Which he doesn't. So, do we have any more cards converted mana cost 4 or more? I don't even think so. So like Disdainful Stroke becomes a dead card for him. Okay, let's see what we got left in the deck. We have a lot of dorks. We've got Engineered Explosives, Saheeli Rye. I just feel like our opponent probably has some sort of removal. It's too bad we didn't have 1 more mana when we did that Walking Ballista, but we really couldn't wait on it because if we did, well, we just would have had to discard it to Liliana. Interesting. So we have one more draw step here. And we are, I think as they call it, in the void of having to chump block every turn and having to draw action every turn. And yeah. Alright, that's it. Okay, so we're back here for game 3 on the play, and we got a decent hand here with Graveyard Hate, Summoner's Pact, ways to gain life. So basically, an okay hand. Opponent mulls to 6. I think Relic's fine here. So it's engineered explosives. But I kind of want the ability to find more action later, so Relic being a cantrip is something that I value here. Wow. Quick start for my opponent. They can get down pretty far here. 13, and then they can... Let's see what they do. Thoughtseize? Yeah. Having Bojuka Bog and Relic is pretty good. They take away our cantrip. And again, we get one of my other favorite cards in the matchup, Colony Garden. So I'm going to have a lot of ETB lands with good abilities here. So the Sleight of Hand version, I think, runs a few less lands. Makes me think that maybe we want to run the Ghost Quarter and the Ramanap, but it's just not the fastest combo to assemble. You need like 2/3 drops plus a Ghost Quarter, and like finding them all is difficult. Plus, you don't really want a Summoner's Pact for it. If you don't want a Summoner's Pact for a card, I don't think you really want to bring it in. And I can't really think of an instance right now where I would Summoner's Pact for it. Next turn, I'm playing the Colony Garden. Our opponent might be low on lands. When you keep a hand with double Street Wraith and a Sleight of Hand, it's like you don't know what those cards are going to be. So one of the weaknesses of those hands is not knowing what you're going to have. And running Sleight of Hands lets you cut down the lands you run. I think you can go between like 17 and 19 lands. Here we're going to lose our Dismember, our Summoner's Pact. Okay. And I'm going to Gruul Turf back my Bojuka Bog. I could even like Bojuka Bog him next turn, me the turn after, just so that he doesn't surgically extract my Summoner's Pacts. That's always a problem. 7/7. Wow. With the Relic down, we'll be able to crack end of turn for a card he can't Thoughtseize. And I can even Vesuva my Colony Garden for another chump blocker. Oh boy. This is like one of the worst starts we can have against them when they have double Death Shadow. I needed like an EE here, and we already used our EE, so, or we bottomed it earlier. That said, we can play Tireless Tracker plus Vesuva, copy the fountain, and we're going to get a land. and a clue. And next turn we'll have 6 mana, so we'll be able to get a Titan. Well, we'd have to draw a Titan or a Pact, and hope that they don't have Disdainful Stroke. So if they attack with both, they have to be afraid of me just like taking 7 damage, and so what are they gonna do here? Kill my tracker. If I take 7 damage, I can attack back for like 5, right? I play land, crack the clue, play land, crack the clue. So if I block one of them, they can do 14 plus 7 is 21 damage with something like a Temur Battle Rage. Plus, if they crack it, then it doesn't even matter, right? They would go to like 3, and Temur Battle Rage would still kill. So I'm just gonna not worry about Temur Battle Rage and block one of them. Okay, now we can deal the 5 damage that we were talking about. Okay, pretty unfortunate. Stellaria West, huh? Whew. So next turn I'm taking 16 damage from these guys. I really need EE. And I haven't shuffled since bottoming it, right? Three lands remaining. Whew. Okay, so here what's the play? We have to block. Do we block both? Do we block one? I think we block one. And we hope to draw something like a... Terminate, okay. Summoner's Pact. Now, what does this do for us? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, yeah, I'm just going to jam Hornet Queen here, because I don't have a red and white source to give myself haste, so that's useless. Hornet Queen does protect me against 2 other Death Shadows, though, and I'll be able to Teleria West next turn. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here we lose to Kozilek's return. Just thought of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even have double blue. If they have double removal spell, I'm kind of screwed. This game is so crazy. I could pay 4 life to save 5. My heart's beating pretty fast here. I'm gonna play my Tularia West because I don't have a way to transmute it unless I, like, next turn a bounce land would be alive, but I don't even need to transmute right now, do I? I mean, next turn I can transmute and maybe get an EE or something, or a Walking Ballista. But I'm not going to attack. I'm not going to play the Tularia West either. Discarding here, the Dismember doesn't do enough. Wow. So here we should have played the Tularia West, right? Okay, but let's go for the Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want a blue source. I also want a white source. I have a white source in hand. Maybe I also want to bounce things. Tularia West I have in hand. But then I also want the Slayer Stronghold. Maybe I get a Boros Garrison and a... well, I don't have a blue source, right? So like a Boros Garrison and a Gemstone Mine, and I bounce the Vesuva or something, or I bounce... And then I'll get another blocker. But I also want a blue source, right? Because I need to be able to transmute next turn. Is there a clear answer as what I should be getting here? Walking Ballista is just really strong. It wins us the game. EE is really strong. A lot of stuff that I can transmute for. So, okay, I'm gonna get a Boros Garrison and a Tularia West, and bounce a Colony Garden and replay Colony Garden. That way I have a blue source, I have a Tularia West, and I'm getting a blocker, and I'll kill Liliana here. Okay. 4. So if I get a Cavern of Souls here, I can jam through the Primeval Titan or the Construct. So I can attack with both. My opponent goes down to 4. I transmute. For that, or I can just try to jam. Well, he could also have a terminate, right? So maybe it's worth getting a Pact of Negation. Attack with both. Problem is if I get an EE, he can just stubborn denial it, and then it's like I've wasted it. So I'm gonna get this. Attack with both. Get a bounce land and a Cavern of Souls. Bounce the Cavern of Souls. Played on Construct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there we go. Whew. Such a close game. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.